What if I told you that Megumi could have an open domain, just like Kenjaku and Sukuna? Now these two are the only sorcerer, while the other is literally the king of curses. And in case you're unfamiliar with what an open domain is or you didn't read the manga, it's a domain expansion that doesn't need a barrier to get the guaranteed hit effect. Having a barrierless domain expansion doesn't only show a sorcerer's extraordinary level of jujutsu mastery, but it is straight-up hacks, and we actually saw what advantage it could give to its user in Gojo versus Sukuna fight. And yeah, Gojo did get the upper hand at the end of this domain clash, but only in the 5th attempt before Mahoraga interrupts. Granted, a sorcerer can only use a domain once a day in normal circumstances. There's another example I can think of, and it's the 3-way domain clash back in the Culling games. If Yuta had an open domain, he could have won this clash easily versus Ryu and the Naked Sky Girl, instead of having the barriers colliding and then collapsing. So there's no doubt that a barrierless domain always has the upper hand on a normal one. It is, according to the narrator, a divine technique and a nearly impossible feat, similar to an artist painting a masterpiece on the air itself. So far, it's reserved only for these two villains, whom profusion in appearance. Both domains, when deployed, create only one simple construction at the center, something that didn't appear with other domains in the series. And that brings us to the destined one, Megumi Fushiguro, back in chapter 58 of the manga. When Megumi deployed his domain expansion, Chimera Shadow Garden, against the Finger Bearer, it was only shown to flood the area with fluid shadows. But fast forward to chapter 170. When Megumi deployed his domain for the second time, it did actually conjure a large construct behind him that resembles 2 columns of a spinal bone with bow-shaped ropes tied and roots attached to it, and it disappears soon after the initial casting of the domain. Now I know this isn't much evidence to build a theory on, but I always found it weird how Megumi's domain works. I think that normally a sorcerer needs to learn the fundamentals of barrier techniques and how they work before creating one and filling it from the inside. At least that how it was shown in the first domain battle with Gojo versus Jogo. The barrier is always deployed first, then the inside is transformed using cursed energy, but the opposite happened with Megumi. Another thing that grabbed my attention is that a domain that flows with cursed energy normally need a barrier made from cursed energy itself to hold it, but Megumi's domain seems to work just fine with normal walls to hold it. Chimera Shadow Garden seems to also interact with the real world, transforming the floor where it was deployed to a bottomless shadow realm. I think that between the first and the second usage, Megumi's domain was evolving, hence the appearance of the tree-like construction, and maybe if it was a proper open domain with the guaranteed hit effect, this construction wouldn't disappear so fast. I see it as a missed opportunity. Gege didn't show us what Chimera Shadow Garden's final form was like with Meguna while fighting Yorozu or Gojo, but I guess that there's nothing more majestic than Sukuna standing on top of the malevolent shrine. Let me know in the comments if this is a solid theory, or if there's something wrong, and don't forget to subscribe if you like this type of content. It will help me make more videos. And yeah, that's about it.